boys and girls. This week we're going to be reading a new series. Last week we learned and read about Franklin. This week we're going to be reading about a little frog. And this is a frog, and his name is Froggy. The title of our book today is called Froggy Eats Out. And if you look in the picture, you can see that Froggy is at a restaurant with his family. The author of the story is Jonathan London, so he is the person who wrote the words in the story. It's illustrated by Frank Remkowitz. He is the person who drew the pictures. So let's get started. Froggy eats out. It was almost dinner time, and Froggy was hungry. He sat in the kitchen and dreamed about burgers and flies. Then he hopped and looked for something to eat. He looked in the cabinet, slam. He looked in the fridge, slam. He looked in the oven, bang. "Mom," Froggy yelled, "there's nothing to eat." "Froggy," called his mother. "What?" "Did you forget? It's our anniversary. We're going out to eat." "Hooray!" sang Froggy. "Let's go." "First, you have to get dressed up, dear. We're going to a fancy restaurant." So Froggy flopped to his bedroom. Flop, flop, flop. He slipped off his shirt, unzipped his pants, took off his socks, pulled off his shoes. He even changed his underwear with a zap of elastic. Then he tugged on his best pants, zip, buttoned up his best shirt, zut, 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 put on his best socks, zoop, pulled up his best shoes, zup, and tied them up, zwit, zwit. Then he put on his best bow tie, snap, and he flopped out to show his mom and dad. Flap, flap, flap. "You look very handsome, dear," said his mother, "but you forgot to wash." "Oops," said Froggy. So he went to the bathroom and washed his hands and face. Splash, splash, splash. He used lots of water, but only a little bit of soap. Uh-oh, it looks like Froggy made a little bit of a mess in that bathroom. Then he dried off with a towel, swoop, and looked at himself in the mirror. He thought he was kind of cute. "Froggy," called his father. "What?" "Time to go," said his dad. "We'll be late." And off they flopped to the restaurant. Flop, flop, flop. Ooh, they made it. Look how fancy they look. At the restaurant, Froggy's eyes grew big and round. There were glowing candles, flowers in vases, and tablecloths as white as snow. "This is a fancy restaurant," said Froggy. "Yes," said his mother. "So remember, be neat, be quiet, and don't put your feet on the table." Do you think Froggy's going to be able to remember all those rules? Let's see. When they were seated, Froggy said, "I'm hungry. Let's eat." "First we have to order, dear," said his mother. "I want a hamburger," said Froggy. "No hamburgers here," said his father. When the waiter handed him a menu, Froggy opened it and knocked over a glass of water. "Oops!" cried Froggy. "Oh, Froggy," said his mother, "remember what I told you?" "I know," said Froggy. "Be neat, be quiet, and don't put your feet on the table." But it was hard to be neat and quiet. He fidgeted, he shook salt on his hand and licked it. He banged a spoon on the table, bang, bang, bang. Then he hit hard on the tip of the spoon and flipped it right into the waiter's head. Bonk! After the waiter finally came and took their orders, they waited and waited and waited. Froggy pulled petals of the flowers. He blew the candle. He sucked out sugar cubes and on ice cubes. Oh no, is Froggy being a good listener in the restaurant? No, he is not being a good listener. Then he hopped up and flopped around the restaurant. Flop, 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 singing, "Be neat, be quiet, and don't put your feet on the table." "Froggy," called his father. "What?" "Please sit down now." Uh-oh, I don't think his dad is very happy. Froggy sat down. Finally, dinner was served. Froggy stuck his fork in a huge plate of spaghetti and sucked some up. Slurp. It was fun, so he slurped up some more. Slurp, slurp, slurp. And that's when he saw Froggalina. She was sitting with her parents. "Hi, Froggy," called Froggalina. "Who's that pretty girl frog?" asked his mother. Froggy was so embarrassed. He ducked beneath the table and pulled and pulled and pulled until his spaghetti and fly sauce landed smack on his head. Splat. Oh no. "Whoops!" cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. "Happy anniversary," he croaked. "What a mess!" cried his father. "Oh, Froggy," said his mother. Froggy scooped the spaghetti off of his face and said, "I know. Let's eat out at Fast Fly's place." "Good idea," said his mother. "Let's go," said his father, and together they leapfrogged all the way there. Flop, flop, flop. Where they all ate burgers and flies. Munch, crunch, munch. The end. I want you to think about how Froggy was behaving at the restaurant. Was he following his mommy's rules and listening, or did he have a really hard time listening? I want you to talk to somebody in your family about it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.